Welcome to episode 2 of the People's Budget right here, brought to you by the Center for Trade Policy and Development in partnership with Diakonia and the Tax Justice Network Africa. In episode 2, now we get to get information, gather information. The work at being the next finance minister starts here, where you gather your own information, and that information informs the decisions that will be made by our participants as to why they have made the decisions they have made in the budget that they'll have to present before a panel of adjudicators. We are in the community today, and they will be allowed to interact with the community, finding out the intricacies, what pressing matters, what needs funding in the community, where should they put their money. That's what we're here to find out today. Today, the journey begins now. Let's get to witness as our participants today go out there and gather this information right here on the People's Budget.
Okay, zina yanga ndine Wiseman Daka na bwera kuno Garden Chiruru kuti funzaneko mafunzo yangono palimwe munkalira kuno Garden Chiruru. Yes, so nenzofuna ziva zina yana tivandani?
Katazo moyo.
Katazo moyo.
Vayoka.
Okay. So kuno kwe munkala vayoka. Ni mafuta ya bwanje mupezana na yepe.
Mafuta kuno ni nchito zisipezeka.
Okay. Nchito zisipezeka. And then kuno kumaketi?
Kuno kumaketi na problem yakwati ngati lenses na problem. Ato kompia kuja saisa market kulima pavers kuno kulibema pavers. So funga at least kwa koko kuma pavers kuno kumaketi. Oyambira kuja at least wanja kuma pavers.
So ngani ya manzi makuvutani. Nchito zivuta kuno nchito zitivuta kuno. Okay. So pano pechiriri ba Minister of Finance ba faka ndrama za boma in place. So palingani ya national budget muziva po bwanji.
Yo ndrama ngati aboya to boost ngam business, tiamba business kuti ipitilize business antifika bayo.
Pero pe mwakama pali business kuli ndrama za CDF za kuti vamapasa in form of grants na loans. Munachitako benefit kunkani ya CDF kuno side.
Kaibo stapo, but mamvera tuwamasita, but kaibo stapo.
Okay. Nchifukwa nchani, zitati mulibe information mushe o simziwa procedure ondondomeko yokonka olopa?
Wangeni sana weka isoma tichinga kaide.
Okay.
Suma funata semizako 10 days 600, 10 days 600. Bise wama tichinga, tumafuno ingenamo wama tichinga.
Nanga program ya cash for work, simuna sebenzeko?
Ndiye ameni antikamba kaide. Sina sebenzeko.
Gibozo wama kuchingani?
Yeah.
Okay. And then ngati mwendofuna wakumvereni kunja ku mchani chikulu chemunga kamiko munga kumkani za ndrama za CDF chemunga fune wachinjako mutengera ndrama zinji chikulu mchani.
Yeah. Tempa koche watanza kuwacha wazimayi nangu wanswasipa enda wakwati walipe mpamvu watanza isi tingasebenze latangela tingasebenze isi aze yupi tingasebenze wanza wachikuri wali mkombo na wevi kwa tanjizira kwa wanswa consulting sebenze waza wakulu wakulu wazi na wevi waone repu na wevi kai wacha walipe pawa walipe mpamvu beta watanjizira kuna wevi kuta walisembe kezi watuma makombo na sebenze waembeke zira isi kututsakire waenaise kunumani. That's what mwapura mushu kwa mwapurera. At least mwapura mwatanzira kuma mwakanzira.
Okay. So process yo panga budget. Munamvera kuti process yo panga budget. Nika first kumvera hapo. But mwamvera kuti national budget.
Sina mverepo yo. Singana mebuta, sina mverepo yo.
Okay. But mwamvera debito ndrama za boma za choka.
Atumamvera CDF but sina mverepo songa.
Okay.
The conversation we're about to have will basically include things surrounding the national budget for 2026.
Yeah, sure.
So I can ask you a few questions, yeah?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
In relation to health, what do you feel should be done or should be added to the health ministry?
Okay, thank you. So every time I hear the word healthy, what comes to my mind is quality life.
Okay.
Yeah, and health is quite important, as we all say. Yeah. So government has built a lot of facilities that are really helping us in when it comes to healthy stuff. Yeah, we can give them a clap for that.
Okay.
But what I feel is they have to improve on how they maintain and how often they they take care of the facilities. For example, let's talk about beddings and mattresses. So like every time, what I expect when I go to the hospital is cleanness and stuff. So when I go there, I have to see the beddings are on point, the mattresses and everything is just clean and stuff. So I would think they should work on how often they change the beddings and they keep that environment itself.
In relation to education, I see you're very learned. So, what do you think about improving the tertiary level of education? We already know that this lower level is already free education. But what do you think should be done about the tertiary level of education?
Okay, so when it comes to that, I feel education is a dynamic field that requires balance between stability and innovation. Yeah, actually in Zambia we have a very good foundation, CDF and stuff, everything is just been given to us. Yeah, free education and stuff. So what we expect is the moment we finish school, we find good jobs and stuff. So I'd say education, yeah, they have done a very good job. But again, it has to go at that extent where they also give us some jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, so education, everything is just okay. You just have to work on the jobs.
You're looking for a job. Aren't you a very innovative?
No, we want a job that will be giving us like a lot of money. You get? Yeah.
Okay.
You have to wait for a salary, not a wage.
Okay. So basically, what's the overall thing that you are looking for looking forward to see in the 2026 national budget?
National budget. Okay, so I would see better ways of developing our country. Let's talk about security.
Okay.
Yeah, for security, I think we need a lot of street lights. A lot of street lights. Yeah, because you know, this world we're living in, this generation is just like cruel and stuff. Because a lot of number of cases of lives and people's life being in danger, kidnappings and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I think security, have to work on security and other stuff. Yeah.
Are you looking forward to seeing any infrastructure development? What are you eager to see? Do you need malls? Do you need roads? What are you expecting, or what do you want to see in terms of infrastructure?
Okay, so in terms of infrastructure, I would say roads more especially.
Roads?
Roads more especially because a lot of people are buying cars. It's like everyone buys cars every day. And looking at roads, I think the roads are quite few now. So we need a lot of roads. They have to work on roads and buildings as well. Good market structures. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a tabla kutenga ma contributions. We're getting contributions for the national budget. So imopali personally pali wanumona monga, what do you want to be included in the 2026 national budget?
Okay, monga ino mamenonera. Ndakde watirangana kumonga isema youth.
Okay.
Musaka sentyo.
Yeah.
Tiliko na skills tinavochita but tingafuna vachitandiza kukairi muziva business ifinika uliko na kang'ono.
Yeah.
So bochita muno vambiri. Then na mwameno mkomboni mwati muno yalamala kwa problem energy. Konzako.
Okay.
Kwa tionga siko mu market yatu manatipangira ko shed. Batula wapitilize asebenza naye pamoja.
Okay, ziko. Nanje nazofuna kufunza mnamvera hapo pali CDF.
CDF is.
So papo kamba pali CDF performance mungachita comment ya bwanje.
Comment tina passe pa CDF. As I say that what considerable shade there.
Yeah.
So munga ino market ngakipata iko na maona mmoyikira. Kama pimbas. So that market yone kamusha so alikida basoko.
Okay, so mama kambati mulina ma skills so monga CDF naemba ichitako offer ma skills to ma youth muziba pali program ya ma youth yochita offer ma skills.
Tiziba.
Okay.
Munga setawena mtunatabo na machine operator scambeta.
Okay.
But at least twatandizia tinda basogore.
Okay, kumitandiza kwa bwanje exactly in terms of the budget.
in terms of the budget, basically maybe kapanga marodi or chani. But use and cover so that can update.
Oh, so my job opportunities kunishita awareness. Okay.
Then you know master kona about the washokerera tina mayuth so na go at least but then zilako mayuth para kwa budget na rem master ko empower
Kumwaloresha muno community no mwaloresha ko maybe my problems are extika if think for feeling them community no my problems eyo mle mwana mu community eyo ngafaya kwa government yado de kisha ya di kam budget ko batama problems are aba bayaroresha.
The only problem ma community tina ma job opportunity
Job opportunities
definitely kamali.
so nga if flex ticket so mefyo mwana part okay baresha ko if ntabafikirisha po sana kuba baresha ko rero bafire batwa adidira sisi fa mwangalanda
So my very friend there when I shikire for as the improvement that I've seen load the roads very maintain kumule mwaoneka relation ko improving within also where they are changing maporized yeah but she didn't sambo sharikare sha rero ntakari wadi shinga so improvement ile mwaneka kuba.
So what would you like to see changed in the national budget to favor your community?
Nkakuchinja monga vanjala njala mzambia ya chilamu pakati hapa njala inze inapata although manje hapa vaona kumalastic vainda kuvota ambo kamba tuunga wachipa batuunga ezo nafika pa extent yokuti vantu swana likubwanisa kudia kabili pete chinango chamene ningakambi iko monga kuma churches mukapezeka matenda buno mzambia as we are pastors, we are all pastors pamini mwatuona batatu. Then chamene chimachitika nchakuti ngati kwabwera matenda muno mzambia they close the churches but mabasi vamavala. But why vamavala ma churches? Because ma churches veva amapempelera pa bantu kuti bantu bapole kapina bantu bapulumuki but mabasi bazasiya swanavale but ma churches bavala.
Okay.
So vonse vijafunika vikali na change.
All right. What about issues with water and sanitation in your area?
Manzi quite alright kusaiti kwatu manzi yaliko ku area yatu but malight yamene yatifuta malight siyaoneka yaka kuseni simazuro kulibe tankala monga ni Zimbabwe malight kulibe. I always go there na bamisungano but manzi kumangala kulibe malight kumangala kulibe chimozi na icho chafika muno Mzambia malaiti tilibe yakabwera kuseni mzuwa ataenda buzayaona futi mahiro pinango 2 days malaiti sinyaona.
What about things to do about CDF? Have you heard of CDF?
CDF yevi yankalani yanyi. CDF tezemo CDF banakamba kuti drought. Anali kupasa bantu bama mimba bama chanchani twatu mabebi twama 2 years anali kuwapasa mandrama but swapasa every month naona kumaminzi bapasa every month but muno mlusaka bezopasa after 1 month yapitapo ya number 2 bapasa apa banaleka na kupasa kuna zizira nozizira sizwa zijandrama za CDF kapina bakudeni bakulu olo bashita nazo bwanji stiziwa because my office is still Nkalama.
Okay, money. What about businesses? Do you run a business? Or do you have someone you know who runs a business who is close to you?
Business monga bwines because my business is
Sako tumono kwa nyumba.
Nima kulisako suma fritters. That is 2 more business see and abwilonga pange ma fritters ya 100 kwacha. But ma fritters ya 100 kwacha yankala 2 days. Nisi profit uzaipeza bwines. Ndafunika kutipasa kuma ngakabe bwanji monga ba cooperative babulisa cooperative. Bakabulisa cooperative and then mapanga group as 10 women. Then mapanga cooperative and then ja cooperative muchitako vinango vokuti ngakutandizeni monga kuma business because these days bamuna banga foreign drama sibambili bamuna bamapasa drama mapay ni yangono basa mutafora 1000 or 1500 alipileko ma rentals kutakwanisa kupasa mkazi ya business imasko.
All right.
Sima peseka.
You're watching season 5 of The People's Budget, brought to you by the Center for Trade Policy and Development. Right now, we're witnessing our contestants gather this information, making their own investigations, getting their own information firsthand, and making sure that all the decisions they make and all the calculations they make will be informed by actual human interest stories that they're gathering here as to where they need to put their money. Very interesting to see them have these conversations with the members of this community, where they need to put their money, where they need to place their budgets. But we'll get to find out a little later as they present this information to a panel of adjudicators, whether what they were collecting will be worth their salt. Let's continue to witness our participants gather this information.
Pajamu spiri nezo kuna ufunsako, nachoka ku Center for Trade Policy and Development, maiti funsako bantu vebaganiza munga vebaganiza munga vingankari mu national budget, because the national budget bashita announce manje bantu mufuna chani so that tizibe vwe tinga chite prioritize mu national budget.
Ine kukamba kwanga inewe nga ine president achabe mushi koma budget ni muchosi funika kufunza mukapasanda vavena kwa na business kudara mate funza say guys mukashite bwanje hapa let's say right yavutako so the example ma genset ngama welders machitako tifuna kuchema right power che at least power che machitako chema funika Zambia tisevenzera na electricity maiwa na electricity publication mafunika watitendezera ko drama chi mateuza the groups malemba mazina okay mungashite bwanje
drama but kuna vimbera hapo kama CDF
yes kama sasa tunalembe sapo sina fore kukamba kuri wa president ba minister banani makansela watu hapo na tukonzera kwa road tuona vichitika kama tifuna che nice batione kwa community libana bama na masie
bachite empower
wana masie empower so rena ngo swap ponzira bana ngo swap ponzira tilibendra so funika kuti humanity the core and the parents maniri batete banga swambera mushi babutikira pa wana plus ma junks yaja funika mwapa savochita mwatenga ko ngene let's say muna wane muri mumene mtengera bangati ba kasisi wacha wabatenga ni wacha majanga wapeleka kwekuza ndo clean kwa ma scoop machani wana
basebenza
bapasa kwa matenga mtaole wacha mangwangwazi usione che nomo mtao
Mlishani?
Wino mlishani?
Wino. Ngebo chimwemwe.
Okay.
Mkwa nzina ba CTPD. Today pitamu, today ipsha bantu pafyo benga fwa fya ba mudi national budget ya next year ya 2026.
Okay.
Shibenga mwadi ishwa national budget.
We, la yung kwa fefine no?
Okay, so ubuteko chida mwaka. Bada funya budget ya fyo plani ya fyo baka spende ndarama. Mkwa so today ipsha abantu ngakudi ko ifyo imomremo na community mwenu ifyo mingatema government ya chitapo ofo mingatema government ya chinjana ngade tako ifide budita finshi to mingarandapo.
Okay, point yo ningarandapo ine yakwe bati ngatwa mone friend atikwa ma CDF sometimes pama TV tulamuna tulonfa baliranda cha kuli CDF but warasanga ti mu community mo muleikala abalumene ma youth ayengi tayari stanga kwa idia chance bambi no kubomba tabali bomba bekali la fio kuno vwalo mo kawira but CDF today yumfwa so lecho ningalanda kwa chikankala sana balole shepo pa balumendo na bakashana tili kotas balisango mayande ya vwalwa nokulwala balesangira monenfwa nga wasabe pusha ni chani why mpesika manyumba ya muba pasande na ile newe evangelist Elizabeth social church introduce na likwete balumendo abalesanga munganda ya bwalwa abengi bali nangu 10 nabe pusha nchimishupa sana kwati mlesangwa munganda ya bwalwa every time uchi kufuma luchero pakecho bali balumendo banji bati tili benchito na nefyupo fye sofiali bwa so result yakaino wakupishe chifukushi kula sangwa mayanda ya bwalwa so government yangalie kuti nabamukomboni nabajabe bonse bajale baoneka kuti pali pepa menye balili bafanika imeja CDF ibatandiza naye bali kupesa kwa mbabo ino tuna amaba pasabu kusese so bajale bepo chita zando tena minongala maba so ndicha mene ndiye kumbali kwa mene ngale pa pasoko manchito yauti imu pasako bize lo kwafula ko cheni kangono mwene mchitira ko imwe apa so na bebe bajabaza ko bize lo twazika manyumba ya mova because my marriages are losing bana bankala chini ma street kids batala tete bao so chilia ta chilemuleka bu So CDF yorotire umfafye kumbi ati kuitoko bashitashana but yosanga wati mu community mu Lusaka mwamene munangu mulibi bane basa tenge wako cheni bani baje bati uyunga ni musonda yasenda kola musonda asenda ko musonda asenda ko musonda asenda ko shani mulenga asenda ko ni Mwanza kapela ni nani pala ni kapela but hii group yingi ile shala ile umfokufya tayari kwa CDF shala ko bareko wapi.
Okay, so maranda padi CDF na nokwisuda bwangu amabazi asere isuka bwangu.
Yele isuka bwangu amabazi yes. Abana abaume baoneka nabakashana bose. That is not good. Chalo chaoneka kanti yo imiti kule mpanga. Balianga baleoneka so chalo chalafika kwisa.
Yeah, nicho fini.
Nishichapwa.
Okay, chawa mama aranda kupama yutsi. Kwa padi imwe. Pali finjo fomu nga mure mona kwa tofe government ngachita finga nyafwa imo
ine government fo ninga iromba kofi ngaba kupashita kofi famu tina umfa bwino.
Okay,
famu
so na imwe ndefwa kwa na imwe ni muri CDF
yo shashalo kwa isango achinga isira kwisa CDF yo ide ngwashita connect bampe ka famu fie so ishwa famu buchiushi nakulalishe chalo.
I think to start with, from the many years that you've been here, I think I understand that you have actually just noticed how different things have been coming on board. You know, from the time you are young up until now. So as of at this point, what would you say? Okay, but since Chevage, we still have these things that at least still need to be worked on up until date.
No, okay. Honestly. In garden, I think I can go spend it up on my roads mostly. Also, health-wise, I don't think people of garden they're receiving. Should I say health services? Yeah, as much as they need. You know, like I don't think they are really getting what is really needed for them. Honestly. They're not getting enough in short. Health-wise, yeah, and also infrastructure-wise.
So, mamile rotifunsa. Ni vintu bwanji be munga kondwele kuti vankala mu budget ya ibora 2026. Kodingi na ma problems echitika, vintu be muona vechitika mu community. Ni ma suggestions depending what pase.
Hali la Gabon ngafuna tupasa ko bus station, tilive bus station. Ma road ma bus makwenda kutali kuja garden oloko kwa mandevu. So at least wakati pako bus station yafika ko nice mkomponi mwanto tsingamikire maningi.
Ziko mkwambia ati ku
Gabon. Yandangwelele what?
Okay. Kuliko na vina nganga kwa school ma kliniki.
Na kliniki tira yose kuja kwa tukusaji be kliniki na hivi.
Oh, kuja kusaidi mlibe kliniki.
Be kliniki tenda kuchaisa oloko garden.
Okay. Sanga CDF mna envelope.
CDF
na envelope. So mna tenga kungani loan or anything for the business?
Stiza aloma pasa maloni. Mambela ko chaba pasa ma CDF but kabunga na access akutenge kwa mne loan. Mambela ko chaba pasa ma CDF masiza utamatenga bwanji or bwanji stizi.
Okay. Kuliko wewe na mimi uzako mwe CDF masenzera mimi vandu mimi explain ni mimi so.
Numa vera chapa doma bega basnise.
Oh, okay.
Earlier in the competition, all contestants attended an intensive online virtual training session. Now, this training focused on understanding the structure of Zambia's national budget and the current state of the economy. The goal was very simple but yet powerful: to equip the young contestants with the right knowledge and context to shape their own budget proposals. By grounding their ideas in economic realities, they are able to present innovative yet practical solutions that can speak directly to Zambia's development needs. So, as they stand before the panel of judges, they do so not only with passion and fresh ideas, but also with a solid foundation of knowledge that makes their people's budget more relevant, impactful, and credible.
My assignment this morning is a simple one. I'm just supposed to share with you issues around the current state of the economy why that one becomes important, it's because by understanding the current state of the economy, you are able as a Minister of Finance to come up with interventions to actually take the economy to a direction that you intend it to be. I think the key guiding principle throughout this context will be the theme that we are actually working with, basically from resilience to growth, making growth actually work for all. So basically that is what we are going to actually look at. So that should be our guide even as we come up with all those interventions and innovations in our budget. Basically, as I share on the state of the economy, I think my focus will mainly be on the issues around the growth, in terms of issues around GDP. I also share some key macroeconomic indicators, as well as I'll endeavor to also speak to the current debt situation, and maybe also speak to some sectors that are mainly contributing so much to the growth that we are looking at. And then basically from there, I think the contestant should be in a better position as they try to come up with their budget to speak to some of those things that we are looking at. And then just as I begin, we must actually note that as a country, we are coming from a situation where we were actually faced with a dual problem. In 2020, Zambia actually defaulted on its debt, and with the default, that actually comes with a bad rating in terms of the international market, but also it actually puts a country in a state where no other investors get attracted to come and actually invest in your country.
My presentation basically will be on the budget. I think this is very important as you aspire to be the junior finance minister, if I can put it that way. So you must know that the country has a national development plan, which is a policy document that guides the development priorities of the country. So you must make yourself alive that whenever you are talking about the budget, you have to make a reference that the budget is actually prepared, in response to the National Development Plan, which is a 5-year plan. So currently we have the 8th National Development Plan, which is actually coming to an end in 2026. So we must be looking at also what is in the plan. Do the budget priorities align to the plan? So when you look at the budget, it's just not numbers. So those numbers are actually coming from the policy direction, which is the National Development Plan. So when you talk about the budget, it is a policy document. Of course, it is a planning document that the government, uses to allocate resources to meet the development priorities of the country. At the same time, the budget also does have a revenue side, because the budget in itself it needs to show you where the monies you are allocating are coming from, and also where you are taking your monies. So the National Development Plan now will give you the priority areas.
Mr. Zulu's presentation is something that whatever he was telling you, that's what we're expecting from your budgets as you start preparing your budgets ahead of the grand finale. And remember, some of these things you can already start preparing them, because I think our next session we will be appearing before a panel of judges. So you need to be very of course it will be detailed, but see how you can infuse some of the critical components that Mr. Zulu has shared, and also based on the interaction that you've had with the public. And from this presentation, the expectation is that even as you appear before the budget, some of these things that we've been discussing today and your interactions with the public should be able to come out in your presentations.
Now we've witnessed our participants gather the information that they need to present to a panel of adjudicators. It's entirely up to the judges to decide whether the budgets or the budget propositions that are put in place are worth their salt. We'll be able to understand the extent of this research that has been done today on next episodes of The People's Budget. I've been your host. My name is Peter Zulu. Until next time, let's see you in episode 3.